my insoles that I'm going to be using today. I typically, what you want to do is put it in a shoe last and make sure it fits, and this one fits pretty perfectly, and there's a little bit of space in the front. I know the shoe last fits me. And then the next question is, do I want a square front or a circular front or an oblique front? I think for today I'm gonna create a square front because that's what I feel like doing today. So I'll create a square front. So there is an extra piece right there that will be out of my sandals, because I know this last fits me very well. It takes a while to get used to figure out what last will fit you. I have a few of them, so I pretty much will just draw a line here where I want to trim off the excess. I think for me that will work pretty well. If I put it on my foot, that's where it come up to. So I'll do the same thing for the other side. You can just put it on your foot and figure out where you want it to sit and trim out the excess that you think you don't need. So depends on what shape you want. So I'm gonna trim out the excess that I have on the line right there. So these are the two pieces I'll be using right here. So I trimmed it out the front so that I have the two edges square. Just trimmed it back. So the next thing to do is I put my insole foam, and this is what for me gives me more comfort on in my shoes. So I just trace around the insole. Careful for it not to move, and just trace around it. Alright, so I have the trace of my two insoles there. I'm going to go ahead and cut them, and then try them put them in there and just kind of adjust till I get the sizes the same. Right, so I have the two pieces here. I'm gonna go ahead and try it on and kind of hopefully it's not small. There is excess that I have to trim off. There's a little bit of excess on this side that I have to trim off. So I'm gonna trim off right here. The front, I have to trim off. The rest of it looks good. So I'm going to trim off the excess. Okay, so that's that part. So the next step is to glue these two pieces together. So I'm gonna put water-based glue, and I'm gonna put them on both sides, allow them to dry, and glue it together. So now both sides are dry, and I'm going to go ahead and glue the pieces together. So I just try to approximate it the best I can. So it's pretty much right at the edge. Do the same thing in the back so it fits well, and then just gonna let it fall in place in the center pieces. So it's glued in, and then the other piece. So these are my pieces. It's not perfect. There's a little defect right there, but it won't make a difference for me. So the next step, I'll go ahead and cut the pieces that go over the insole. So next I'll need to cover the insoles. I'll have two separate pieces. One piece is a strip that runs about, I'll say 20 centimeters, and it runs about 10 inches. It runs across like this and folds over, and then the other piece folds in the front here. So it covers this piece. I prefer to do the two pieces rather than just cover one piece, because it's very easy to fold it back at the edge here, rather than I have a lot of problems with it sitting comfortably without folds at the edge if I do it as a strip and a piece, rather than the whole piece that just folds across when it's fabric, especially because fabric does not stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some glue on each side of my strips. I'm going to apply some glue, and then once it dries, I'm going to put it over. Now the pieces are dry. I did go ahead and use a heat gun to dry this, speed up the process. I'm going to attach the side piece, so I'm just going to put a strip around this here and then just work my way around. So I have an extra piece right there. I'll just go ahead and trim it. So right here I have this piece. I'll just adjust. I usually use this tool to smooth in these pieces here. So I have this piece here. It's glued on. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on the front piece. Like that. On my is dry. Glue on the very loosely, lightly, so it doesn't soak into the fabric. Okay. I'm going to use a glue gun to speed up the drying process. Now the front pieces are dry, we're ready to glue this front piece. I just want to make sure it's facing the direction I want it to. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this edge so I can have it laying this way. That's how I want it to face. So the D's are forward, and I'm going to rotate, wrap around this piece. Smoothly, so it looks like this in the front. And then I'm going to trim off all this extra fabric in the back. Trimmed off, so I have now this insole piece lined up, and it looks pretty much like that. Alright, so these are the two insole pieces complete, and now I'm ready to last my shoe over this. So I pretty much have to take it back. So I'm ready to last my sandals over this.